For most of my gardening life, I've believed that making compost was one of the most important jobs in the garden. After all, compost is often described as black gold. It's the ultimate prize for any organic grower. But recently I've started asking myself a question that challenged my long-held assumptions. Do we actually need more compost? Or do we need more life in the soil? Because the two aren't necessarily the same thing. When I look at nature, I don't see compost heaps. I see leaves falling and plants dying back exactly where they grew. I see soil organisms doing the work of decomposition right at the surface, feeding the system in real time. So today, I'd like to explore which is better for the garden, finished compost or organic matter left to decompose directly on the soil. Let's start with why we love compost. Primarily, it's an incredible way to recycle our garden and kitchen waste. It creates an ideal growing medium that is soft, aerated, and perfect for the most delicate of roots. It physically improves soil structure, breaking up heavy clay and giving sandy soils some much-needed body. It's also like a sponge, helping the ground hold onto moisture during those long, dry summer months. And we can't forget the steady supply of slow-release nutrients it provides as it continues to break down. For many of us, compost is the foundation for starting new no-dig beds, allowing us to plant directly into fertility. It gives young transplants the best possible start, surrounding them with a buffet of biological life and food. There's no doubt that compost has transformed many gardens, including mine, and remains an extremely useful tool. But let's pause and consider what compost actually is. It's the final result of a long decomposition process. Bacteria, fungi, and worms have already consumed the original material, breaking down complex molecules into simpler forms. By the time we add it to our beds, much of the energy from that original organic matter has already been used up. I like to think of compost as a partially digested meal. It's safe and nutritious, but the fire of decomposition has mostly gone out. So if compost is the end result, what happens if we move that fire of decomposition directly into our garden beds? This brings us to the power of living roots. Modern soil science is showing us how vital these roots are to soil health. Plants are essentially solar-powered pumps, sending up to 40% of their energy underground as root exudates. These exudates are sugars and proteins that literally feed the microbes in the rhizosphere, the area right around the roots. Legumes like peas, beans, and clovers take this further by forming nitrogen-fixing nodules that feed the soil food web. This process provides a continuous, high-energy food source for soil organisms while the crop is actively growing. You simply can't get this level of active, living biological exchange inside a static compost heap. The plant is gone. Let's look at a practical example. Imagine harvesting your peas, but leaving the root systems exactly where they grew. Instead of hauling the tops away to a compost pile, we shred them and spread them right back onto the bed as mulch. Now, the decomposition happens in place. Those nitrogen nodules break down, releasing fertility directly to the next crop. The fine root hairs become an immediate feast for microbes, which in turn feed larger soil organisms like earthworms. Earthworms follow these old root channels, deepening the aeration and improving how water moves through your soil. By doing this, we are building soil carbon from both above and below, mimicking the natural cycle of growth and decay. Nature has been building fertile soil for millions of years without a single gardener to turn a compost heap. Forests and meadows rely on continuous ground cover, a living or dead skin that protects the soil from the elements. Organic matter stays where it falls. The recycling happens right there, powered by an army of specialized soil dwellers. I sometimes wonder if we gardeners remove too much mess from our beds, only to work twice as hard to replace it later. We clear, we haul, we turn, we screen, and then we haul it all back again. Is there a more efficient way? So, which is better? The answer isn't a simple one or the other. Both have their place in a healthy garden. Compost is unbeatable for starting seedlings. It's stable, weed-free, and provides that perfect fine texture. It's also the fastest way to jumpstart life in very poor or compacted soil where natural processes have stalled. Mulch, on the other hand, is the ultimate protector. It keeps the soil cool, moist, and safe from erosion. It supports the fungal networks that are so critical for nutrient exchange, but are often disrupted in more managed systems. Rather than picking a winner, I've started seeing them as two parts of a single, continuous system of soil care. After over 40 years of gardening, I've begun to think less about feeding the plants and more about feeding the soil. Compost isn't the goal. Healthy, biologically active soil is, and there are many ways to achieve that. I'm increasingly using cover crops, crop residues, and mulches to keep the organic matter where it grows. I'm learning to step back and let the soil organisms do the heavy lifting of processing and recycling. Here in my garden in Hungary, I've seen the resilience of the soil improve dramatically when I prioritize this in-place feeding. Maybe the real question isn't compost versus mulch. Maybe it's how we can feed the soil life with the least effort. Because if the soil life is thriving, our job as gardeners becomes a little bit easier every single year. I'd love to hear how you build fertility. Do you rely more on compost, mulch, or a mixture of both? Share your experience below. Thanks for joining me today in the garden. Until next time, keep growing and keep observing. Bye for now.